I remember whenever I was first starting getting into making bourbon, a conversation I had with a distiller at Buffalo Trace, and his exact words were to me were, it's really easy to make great bourbon, just that your father and your grandfather had to have made great bourbon before you. I'm Daniel Barnes with Treaty Oak Distilling Company. I'm our founder and CEO. When I started the distillery in 2006, our first product that we released was Treaty Oak Platinum Rum. But the goal was always to be a producer of high-end Texas whiskey. And at that point, Texas whiskey simply did not exist. We began making whiskey from our second year, putting back several barrels, learning about mash bills, how the Texas heat affects aging, and that's been a big part of our story. The Ghost Hill name is the namesake of our ranch here. It only felt fitting to bring that name to the forefront. So we wanted to recognize our home, the sense of place that we think is so vital in the conversations about whiskey itself. Our corn and our grain, those are the most key elements to start with. I look at making whiskey the same way that a chef would look at making a dish. It's all about starting with the right ingredients. In 2018, we released our Ghost Hill Bourbon. Again, this was the focus of many years, almost a decade, of learning and getting knots on our head and frankly making not great bourbon. But we've been thrilled to see the results that it's received, that's going toe-to-toe with top bourbons from elsewhere, specifically Kentucky even, where we have a lot of pride in what we're making and know that we've still got a long road ahead of us. We found that the Ghost Hill mash bill at roughly 1 year of age begins to really get a lot of the grain complexities, a lot of the wood tannins coming through. It is a pretty special project. We then took it and instead of using it at the usual higher proof that Ghost Hill is, cut it down to 80 proof with the beautiful limestone filtered hill country water that we have access to here in Dripping Springs. The result is a product that we call the Day Drinker, a quote-unquote sessionable bourbon. And we looked at this as the opportunity to make a Texas grain-to-glass whiskey that was acceptable to use into cocktails and came into a more everyday price point. And we're pretty proud of what we've got with the Day Drinker. Our newest release is an entry into the RTD, which stands for Ready to Drink category. RTD is something that has been really crazy to watch over the last 2-3 years. You know, from the popularization of seltzers to now canned cocktails, things like that. We're seeing an acceptance for RTDs that's quite different from the Jello shot syringes everybody was familiar with 5 or 6 years ago. Our entry into this category is our old-fashioned cocktail. Our old-fashioned is a very traditional take of mix of bourbon, simple syrup, bitters, and orange oil. We take a lot of pride in knowing that the old-fashioned that we've created has already won multiple awards and is being recognized by bartenders as a quick and easy replacement to provide people with a classically made cocktail poured straight out of the bottle. Basically, we've done the work so you don't have to. Helping people be curious, that leads people to innovation, and you know, Treaty Oak is always going to be at the forefront of that, pushing the envelope with new releases, new flavoring methodologies, new ways to age the spirits. The curiosity will always be a big part of Treaty Oak, and I'll leave you with my favorite saying the team has, which is live fast and drink slow.